Welcome, grade 9. We are factorizing today using a method called factorization by grouping. This method is normally applicable when you see 4 terms in your expression. Like if you look at those 5 examples there, all of them have 4 terms. Right, so whenever you see 4 terms in the expression, you know you are most likely to use factorization by grouping. Let's go through those examples together. Right, AB plus AC plus BD plus CD. Factorize that. This is the approach I think will be useful for you. So first of all, we are grouping these terms in pairs. So we're looking at any pairs that can go together and factorize. They should necessarily have something common. Right. So like the first 2 here can go together as a pair, and the last 2 they can go together as a pair. So this is what you can do. So the first pair, AB plus AC, can be put inside a bracket as it is. But if I do that, then I need to make sure there is a plus sign written there. It's a plus sign, then I need to copy down the next or the last 2 terms just as they are. So this is plus BD plus CD. Right. Then we're going to factorize. In the first bracket, A is common. So if A is common, remember A is common, so it's like A has been taken outside the bracket. So you will remain with B plus C in there. Okay, so the plus sign should be written down there. Then in the last 2 terms, D is common. Can you see that? So it's a D that is common. So you write your D out here. So now with D outside there, it means we remain in there with B plus C. Okay, so B plus C. Right, now compare the 2 terms that we have now. Clearly, B plus C is now common. So B plus C is common. So we write B plus C in its own bracket somewhere out there. Draw another set of brackets. Remember, B plus C is common, so it is outside. It has been moved outside. So what will remain within there now is A plus D. Okay. In this example, do the same thing. AX plus BX should be put inside a bracket. Remember, a plus sign. Then that's a plus 2A plus 2B inside the other bracket. Then factorize. X is common in the first part. So X is common. So with X outside, you remain in there with A plus B. Then here, do you see that 2 is common there? So with 2 outside, A plus B becomes another factor. Right now, between these 2 terms, A plus B is common. So A plus B is in both terms. Right, so A plus B is out. So we remain in here with X plus 2. Right, let's look at this example. Remember, the first thing you need to check for is the highest common factor. If you look at all these 4 terms, the first one has a 4 there, the second one has a 4, the third one has a 6, and the last one there has a 6. So 2 is common. Do you see that? So because of that, we need to think like this. 2 is common. Right, so 2 is common. I'll put it outside that big bracket there. Then what do we have inside? So that when we multiply back by 2, we go back to 4ax minus 4bx plus 6ay minus 6by. So we need 2ax in here minus 2bx in there plus 3ay minus 3by. Okay, you see that? So that 2 will always be out there. All right. Then we need to factorize that whole thing inside the square bracket. I'd use the same method that I used before. So I'm grouping 2ax minus 2bx together. Then don't forget that should be a plus sign. And in the other bracket, I have the plus 3ay minus 3by. Okay. Then this is 2 Let's factorize this. You will notice 2, right? 2 is common, but also x is common. Can you see that? So 2x is common there. So if 2 is common and x is also common, do you see that you then remain with a minus b in there? Right, then the next one there, what is common? Can you see 3? Right, 3 is common. There is a 3 here and a 3 there, so 3 is common. And what else is common? See, there is a y there and a y there, so 3y is common. Right, so if 3 and y are outside, you will notice inside there you then remain with a minus b. Okay, this is still inside the square bracket. Now we need to factorize this further. This part and that part have something common. Don't forget your 2. Right, don't forget your 2. So what is common is a minus b. Right, so a minus b is common. So if a minus b is common and out, we remain in there with 2x plus 3y. Right, so we remain with 2x plus 3y. And that will be our answer. Right. Let's look at this one here. For this one, we're going to group ax minus bx together. Remember, this must always be a plus sign. Then I'm going to copy inside the other bracket everything as it is, the minus a plus b. Okay, so that's minus a plus b. This can be understood this way. If I write this as b minus a, that would be fine. So a minus a plus b means exactly the same thing as b minus a. The other thing we need to take note of is it looks like there is nothing there, but there is actually a 1 there. You can actually write your 1 there. That will help you a lot to do that. So there is a 1 there. Okay, then let's factorize. The first two terms have x common, so I can see x is common there. So if x is common, in other words, x is out there now, we remain in here with a minus b. And now we move on to the last part of the expression. Now that one is b minus a, right? So that is b minus a, but this is a minus b. And we really want this to be the same. So you will notice this is where you can now swap this around, but swapping the a and the b around means we have to change the plus sign into a minus sign. So we can change the sign to a minus, then we can swap these terms around because we need this thing to be the same as that. Right? Remember that from the previous lesson. Now we have a minus b, which is common. And in the other brackets, remember a minus b is common. So in the other bracket, we now remain with x minus 1. Okay. One last example. I'll do the same thing here. I can't see anything common right across. So I'm going to group x cubed minus 3x in one bracket. Remember the plus sign. Then in this bracket, I copy down the other two terms as they are, minus x squared plus 3. Right, so this is x cubed minus 3x. This here, I'm just going to write the positive one first before the negative one. So I can write this as 3 minus x squared. And then take note, it looks like there is nothing there, but we know that there should be a 1 there. There is a 1 there. You can put a 1 there. So now let's factorize. I can see x is common. So if I pull x outside, I should remain with x squared minus 3 in there. Right, so that is x squared minus 3 inside that bracket. And now, this is x squared minus 3, but that is 3 minus x squared. We need that to read the same as well. We need that one to be x squared minus 3. So this is where we change the sign and we swap the terms. So we change the plus to the minus, and those terms are swapped around. So this is x squared minus 3. Right, now you see this is equal to that. So what is common is x squared minus 3. So if x squared minus 3 is common, right, this is common, it means we remain in here with x minus 1, which becomes our answer. Right, I hope that makes sense.